Now, we did get Apple's earnings last night after the bell, and I talked to you last week ahead of their earnings. How did you feel about the report? Because they did have that record September quarter sales for those iPhones, but their guidance for revenue in that holiday quarter was a little bit below expectations.
I think the guidance was better than anybody expected, and I think the gross margins are fairly solid, and they've beaten on the revenues for the first time in 5 quarters, so that's certainly a positive for Apple. Stock had been up over 17% in the last few weeks, so it's natural you see some signs of it stalling out. Incredibly enough, if you look at where the stock is trading now, 526, it's only $4 above where it ended last year. So not a big move. Apple, if anything, is dramatically underperformed the rest of the market. But I think that as the high-end smartphone growth starts to slow, I mean, they're doing the necessary things. Beating on revenues and earnings, earning $37 billion is not a bad thing. So the stock is well positioned in a slowing growth environment.
Now, companies do go back and adjust their forecasts once they're into the quarter and they see those sales. Should we expect that in the holiday quarter?
That's a tough question, and that's not my area of expertise. I know that a lot of the changes in accounting they've done and deferred cost measures they think will be temporary, and they're trying to position for the end of the year. I think that if anything, the earnings and the revenue numbers that came out suggest that they're on the right track.
Also this week, we also are getting LinkedIn and Facebook. Those are the big ones. When it comes to those social media companies, is it really about that mobile and advertising growth that they are going to forecast?
It certainly is, particularly with regards to Facebook. I mean, everybody wants to see their mobile ad growth start to accelerate. And so given that their stock has doubled from July when they had second quarter earnings, they have a lot on the line in terms of trying to deliver at the very top end of their forecast to make sure the stock can continue to move. So that's been one of the biggest gainers in the last 3 months. So big expectations out of Facebook. Well, I just think they need to exceed expectations on all fronts, and each company is different and has different things they're looking for. With companies like LinkedIn, a lot is tied into their enterprise job platform that is used by recruiters, but user growth is important. Advertising is extremely important to a lot of these social media companies, and so you want to try to beat really across the board with regards to that, and make sure that, particularly as the stock runs up dramatically ahead of these announcements, that you don't just barely meet or not exceed expectations, because that would cause pullbacks likely in the stock.